I cry when I see sweaty people. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. As a kid, I would watch basketball games with my dad sometimes, and as the games went on, you get these close-up shots of the players' faces where they would just be covered in sweat. And in particular, I remember seeing sweat beating up on the heads of bald players. And for some reason, watching that would just make my eyes water. And I can even feel them watering a little bit right now just talking about this. And it's not as though I'm sad or something when I see this, but instead, for some reason, seeing droplets of sweat on skin just makes my eyes water like somebody is cutting onions nearby. And my dad's the same way. And because this happened to me and it happened to my dad, I just assumed that everybody's eyes would water when they see sweaty people. Except, of course, this isn't a thing. It doesn't happen to anybody else in my family. When I Google it, nothing really comes up. As far as I can tell, this doesn't happen to other people. But I spent years, at least into high school, thinking that it was commonplace for people to cry when they see sweaty people. And it was surprisingly easy to hold this mistaken belief, thinking that my personal experience was the same experience that other people had. Okay, but so what? Nothing bad comes of thinking sweaty basketball players make everybody cry. I mean, we all do this to some degree, thinking our personal experience is universal. The problem is, we often do this with things that actually matter. It's easy to think that because something hasn't impacted you, it must not be a big deal for other people. All your interactions with the police have gone just fine, so how can it be that other people's interactions go badly so frequently? Whenever you work hard and apply yourself, opportunities open up to you. So for people who aren't successful, they must not be taking advantage of those opportunities or must not be trying very hard. This is a big reason why marginalized groups have such a difficult time in getting people in power to take them seriously and believe them. Why so many black people's interactions with the police seem so foreign and unbelievable to so many white people. Why it's so easy to write off poor people as unmotivated or not really trying. Because that's not what I experienced. So how can it be what you experienced? That's why personal experience isn't enough. Just because it happens to you or to someone you know doesn't mean it's the same for everyone or every group. Instead, we need to make sure what we think is actually representative before we form conclusions about how things actually are. And just think what would happen if we didn't do this. Imagine I went around telling people they had to be tearing up after watching NBA games, and if they denied it, I would tell them they're mistaken or I just wouldn't believe them. Well, I would look pretty ridiculous, but I would also clearly be lacking in empathy. I would be prioritizing what I assumed had to be true over what other people actually experienced. So be more empathetic. Go talk to friends and family members with different backgrounds than you. Listen openly and honestly to what they have to say and see what kinds of experiences other people have. Ultimately, try to figure out if your experience is truly universal or if instead, you're just crying at sweaty people. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about personal experience and how useful it is for determining truth. But more importantly, let me know if you know of anybody else who cries when they see other people sweat. And I'll see you next time.